Welcome to
It's being recorded.
awesome. We have a wonderful opportunity to meet every single Thursday at 11 a.m. This is called the Freedom Achievers webinar and coaching, and we're super excited to do it every single Thursday at 11 a.m. So just a couple things right off the bat that I'll tell you guys. Inside our Facebook group, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, please become a member of our Facebook group. Michael's going to put the link inside of the chat, and we'll send it out by email later on as well. But inside the Facebook group, you'll find a lot of great things happening. And in February, we're actually going to be hosting 1 to 2 different live sessions from different people every single day, Monday through Friday. It's going to be crazy. We're going to do Financial Fridays or Financial Freedom Fridays. We're going to do role playing on Monday mornings. We're going to do this every Thursday at 11. We're going to do we have like no topic hump day, so it's like every Wednesday we're gonna get together and we're just gonna allow whoever wants to jump in and bring a topic to the table to bring a topic. So great stuff happening Monday through Friday. Every single day is would be 1 to 2 different live opportunities for folks to jump in on. So join the group. It's a great place for us to collaborate, just kind of really dig in. And then there it is. Mike just threw it in there. Appreciate you, Mike. And then additionally, don't forget, end of March, we're hosting our first masterclass of the year. This masterclass is a 3-day event. It's going to be held in Miami in the Doral area. There are plenty of hotels in the Doral area, everything from the $150 a night, DoubleTree suites to the $400 a night Trump suite, right? So Doral is a very expansive area. You've got the golf courses, you've got resorts, you've got everything you could ever imagine. But we're going to be hosting a 3-day event. It's very limited. It's only 30 people. And what we're going to be focusing on is developing and going beyond the brand. And so we're going to take every single one of you that attend. You're going to get new headshots. You're going to get creative video. You're going to get we're going to create brand video, and we're going to create promotional video. We're going to get everybody squared away all across their social media platforms on brand and presentation of your brand. We're going to help everybody develop all of that. We're going to help folks. We're going to get your CRMs, drip campaigns, and all those things squared away. We're actually going to create drip campaigns to give to you so that you can create automation directly on site. And the reason we're limiting it to 30 people is because we're going to go one-on-one with this. So if we have 100 people in the room, it's not, it's just too much to be able to sit with somebody, and for sure we're going to let somebody down, right? So what we want to make sure is we can get one-on-one with you, sit with you when you're having problems or you can't get that drip campaign to work right or whatever the case is. And we're going to spend the time doing it. And then on the last day, we're going to deep dive on creating Facebook and Instagram ads for your business. All right. So you want buyer and seller leads? We're going to create those ads. We've got a couple guests flying in from like the West Coast, friends of mine that own great social media marketing companies. I myself am certified. I'm a certified genius under the Genius platform and program for social media marketing and advertising. So this is the kind of stuff that I want to kind of bring back to you. So Mike, if you could put the link for that on there, I greatly appreciate it. It's just thefreedommasterclass.com. And so we're digging to that and definitely look forward to seeing as many of you there as possible. Like I said, it's only 30 seats. Me and my team can only spread ourselves so far. So we just want to make sure that we're giving everybody real direct attention. And that's it for that. So that's the update. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first thing we always do when we start our Freedom Achievers class is we go right to the chat box and we write the comment, "It's a freedom day." Go ahead and do that right now. You guys know why we do it. We do it because you're in this session to learn things and apply tactics that are going to create freedom in your life. And that is my goal. My goal is to help you create the freedom that you desire, whatever that means to you. For some folks, it means running a really big operational business, and that's freedom for that. For other folks, it's spending more time with family. For other folks, it's kicking the kids out, sending them to college, moving to a beach in Puerto Rico. I'm not thinking of anybody in particular, but I will point fingers all day long, right? So everybody has a different aspect of freedom, and we understand that to achieve these different things requires you to have systems and business in place, and opportunity for yourself to earn income that allows you to live that life. I can't move to a beach in Puerto Rico if I don't have a comfortable income coming in from the businesses that we have created and built with each other, right? So that being said, last couple of weeks, we've really spent time on storytelling, content development, and creating relationships. Now, we haven't even gotten to the relationship part of all of it. What we've really done is we've 100% focused on discussing the different types of posts and different types of copyright that you need to have in order to really bring attention. So just give you a perfect example. When you get really good at this copyright, you get this really cool text message. I got mine the other day from Facebook, and it said, the quality of your posts and your daily engagement with audiences have increased your visibility for 32 days. Now, what does that mean? It says increased visibility is an opportunity for your content to be viewed more broadly. Increased visibility is given to those who consistently post high quality content and engage their audiences daily. Eligibility for increased visibility is evaluated daily. Think about that. Then it gives you tips. It says, keep up the momentum, try some of these things. Use a variety of posts like reel stories, live videos, and more. Find comments to your posts and extend the conversation and respond to those. Create posts related to current events. Whoa, everything we have literally talked about for the last 2 weeks. These are the tips that they're giving you, right? Because even when we spoke about copyright last week, and we spoke about long story form, and we spoke about attention getting stuff, right? We also said that that just doesn't have to be written. You can create video. You can create video long form content, right? So like we will create sometimes informational things. Like let's say I'll take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'll talk about a particular subject. So it says create posts related to current events. So let's say something currently is happening. For instance, right now, CoStar, if you're not familiar with CoStar, it's a big commercial platform, right? CoStar is putting in a bid on realtor.com. This bid is worth somewhere along the lines of $3 billion. Do you think that's a great opportunity for you to get up and talk about it? Now, by the way, you can make this a 60-second reel. And now I know Instagram allows you to go 90 seconds, but if you do a 60-second reel, you can use it as a YouTube short, you can use it as a Facebook reel, you can use it as a TikTok. You see where I'm going with this, right? So I could spread this across the different platforms. More importantly, I can actually do some hardcore research on this and spend 5 minutes having a conversation about it, right? And then post this long form video, which is my storyboard video, right? Post this long form video with the facts along with my opinion, which is okay. That's why I'm creating the video. I'm going to have an opinion on the subject. I'm going to have an opinion on what CoStar will control by owning realtor.com, right? And so my opinion goes into this long form story form video. Remember when we talked about the story form last week, and we talked about the different sections of the story form, and we talked about, you know, the history, the current event, where you're headed, and the call to action, right? And so if I do this in this video form, now I can take this video and I can upload it into several different websites. Mike, if you could put the website we use for transcribing the videos, I'd appreciate it, sir. So Mike's going to put a link in here, and what we'll do is we'll literally transcribe the entire video, right? And by the way, this costs like, I think it's a penny a minute or something like that. It's not very expensive at all, okay? So you can transcribe a 5-minute video for like 5 to 10 cents, okay? And you take this video and transcribe it, and now I can post this video on YouTube, and I can take my entire transcription and put it in the commentary. Makes my video easier to find when somebody's searching realtor.com, CoStar, right? Like think keywords like that, right? And then I can do the same thing on Facebook, or on Facebook, I can post a long form video. And remember how we talked about creating the hook and then the bullets and then the call to action, right? So we could say, how much, like, think about this. We could say, CoStar places a bid on realtor.com for $3 billion or something like that, worth $3 billion. Or we could say, what would CoStar be able to control by owning the data that realty.com offers? Whole different hook, right? Whole different catch line. And then I can go into 3 or 4 bullets. Bam, 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 fact-based and opinion-based, fact-based and opinion-based, make it controversial almost. And then I can have a call to action. Watch this video I created on this and comment below with your opinions on what's happening, right? And so super great opportunity, right? So Michael just put it in there. It's happyscribe.com, right? That's the website that we use to transcribe our videos. And so again, this is how we talk about all this content, all this copyright, and getting it out there. Today, what I want to do is I really want to get into placement. And I know you're busy, guys. And it's funny because knowing how busy all of you are, I brought this up and I said, I have to show you guys this thing, right? I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before, but the job of the agent, right? Like, this is all the stuff that we do to be real estate agents. Like, this is us right here. And look, this: writing ads, sending just so, taking photos, prospecting for buyers, answering phones, ordering preliminaries, answering seller questions, answering phones. And I think it says answering phones a couple times, and I think it's a message that realtors should probably pick up their phone more often. Install lock boxes, create CMAs, maintain files just sent, social media marketing, answer buyer questions. And so with all of this happening, everything here is massively important, right? Important, right? But when we think about this stuff, this right here, this right here, let's go with it. Let's find some stuff. This right here. Let's see. Think about this, man. How much of this, write and review contracts, negotiate offers, order prepared disclosures, buyer showings, pre-qualified buyers, weekly follow-up with clients, this definitely, right? How many of these things are bringing the business? So when I looked at this, right, and I said, out of all the things in here, this, and this, in my opinion, unless I'm not seeing something, is what brings the business to create the rest of the job. And so the reason I bring this up is because, as busy as we are, these are things that need to be done. Now, as an agent with a budget, right? When you're here, well, you just got to do it. But when you're here, it's time to third party this stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you something about this because I'm a freaking weirdo, right? I never, ever gave up my social media. It's just me. That's me. I feel like when I post on social media, I want it to come from me. And I know there's a great opportunity to hire a social media manager, and maybe that person can handle your real estate side of the business and market reports and things like that. And that's fantastic. But me personally, I've never given up my social media because I believe it's personal. And so when you read my social media, I want you to feel like you're reading something that I actually wanted to tell you, other than somebody else creating something that's kind of out of the box, right? And so with all these things, this here, and this here creates the other work, right? It makes the phones ring, right? It makes you answer phones, right? Look, you see, I told you it's twice, right? It makes you get properties to be able to actually install lockboxes at. You're going to create CMAs for potential sellers. You're going to send just listed and just solds because that's what's going to happen. But all of that stuff happens by creating content, making calls. I know I have the worst handwriting, guys. Sorry. Making calls, right? Lead gen, paid and unpaid. Okay. All of this stuff does what? All of this stuff does what? I'm going to give you the answer, but I want you guys to type this in the chat box. All of this stuff creates data. Everybody write the word data inside the chat box. All of this stuff creates data. Everybody write the word data in the chat box. And let me tell you something. I'm going to write a quote up here while you guys are writing data. She with the most data wins. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. He or she with the most data wins. Now, theoretically, by itself, data is irrelevant. But if you take this data and you actually engage, whole different story. We all know there's a difference between having 100 followers and having 100,000 followers when you post something, right? If they're real followers. Now, that's just on social media. Earlier today, we just discussed CoStar purchasing realtor.com. Do you guys think that CoStar wants to be in the business of running realtor.com, or do you think they want realtor.com's data? Type it in the chat box. What do you think they want? CoStar wants to be realtor.com, or they want realtor.com's data? Which one is it? Type it in the chat box. Of course, data. It's all about the data. It's exactly what they want. Let me ask you another question. The man who created the most profitable, highest selling electric car and the spaceship that lands itself, that can re-land, not lands itself, but can re-land in a very small spot in the middle of the ocean with waves moving and everything, okay? This man buys Twitter. Did he buy Twitter for the data or because he really cared about social media? What do you guys think? Type it in the chat box. Was Elon Musk so passionate about free speech that he spent $1 billion? Or did he care about the data that was inside Twitter, right? Those who have the data win. So I'm going to run a scenario with you guys. Okay. I'm going to run a scenario with you guys. And this is where the placement comes in. All right. Now, you've got Google. You've got Facebook. You have Instagram. You have TikTok. And you have YouTube. We'll just use those for now because we know there's like 75 more, okay? But we're going to use these for right now, all right? This is what I want you to do. We're going to make this paid ads on these platforms. Now, the reason I'm going to talk about paid ads with you guys is, although it's very important to get as much organic content as you can out there, paid ads will pull data, but they'll only pull it if you're able to do certain things. And this is what I want you to do. I would like for you guys to create something you can give away to your target audience. Now, let's work together on this. What do you think would be some great things that you could give away to your target audience, right? Think about who you're trying to sell property to, or who your business people are, or who it is that you're trying to attract, right? For instance, if my target audience was military people or military movers, right? Would it be smart for me to create a 4-page pamphlet about steps to a military move? And how great would it be if I created an ad that directed everyone to come here, and it said, if you fill in your information, we will send you a free download pamphlet on military moves and the steps to make it easier for you. How about a 4-page pamphlet that says methods to best sell your home in today's market? And you just create a 10-method series. By the way, some of you are thinking, Dave, man, I know what the 10 steps are to prepare my house for sale. I can't think about it. Cool. Go to ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, what are the 10 most important steps to prepare my house for sale? And it's going to give it to you. And then you're going to go to Canva, which you can get for free, or you can pay $12 a month. And you're going to create a beautiful pamphlet, 2-page, 3-page, 4-page, doesn't matter. And that pamphlet is going to give folks information. Now, if I created a pamphlet that said 10 steps you can take to best effectively sell your home in today's market. If I created that pamphlet and somebody clicked on my ad and downloaded that pamphlet, do you think, yes or no in the chat box, do you think they might actually be interested in the steps necessary to sell their home? Yes or no? 100%. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. If I go through the trouble of downloading this, chances are I'm interested in the steps. If you have their data, could you call them now and say, hey, you downloaded my free report. I wanted to see if you had any questions about it, or if there's anything I can help you with, right? Because one of the most important things that free report's going to have is at the very end, there's going to be your realtor picture, right? And then your phone number, your contact information, your website, right? And you're going to guide people there. Okay. Now, the military move thing is the same thing. I would create those ads and I would focus it on military bases. And those folks, chances are, if they click on that ad and download that pamphlet, they may have just gotten orders to move to a new location, and you can help them out. Here's the beauty of being a real estate agent. A lot of folks are saying, well, Dave, what if this military person is not moving to my area, right? Let's say I run this ad in Fort Belvoir and they're moving to Fort Hood and I'm in neither one of those locations. Well, the beauty of being a real estate agent is that you can send referral business out for 25%, right? How beautiful is that? You don't even have to do the work. You just created attention, you built data, and you drove it to you. Now, one of the questions I often get is, how do I create this? There are a couple options. You create a funnel, and you have companies like ClickFunnels, and you have companies like Go High Level to create funnels. If you don't want to take it that far, systems like Constant Contact will allow you to create a form. That form will automatically put people on a list, and you can create an auto return email when they register. What does that mean? That in Constant Contact, I could create different lists, right? And then I could take that form, the form name, email address, phone number, city you live in, city and state you live in, right? Because that's great data for me to know and have, okay? And then they would fill this out, And once they submit it, they'll fall on a page that says, thank you for registering. In a few moments, you'll receive an email with your free download, right? And so their information will end up in a list that I would have created in Constant Contact, right? So I would call that the pamphlet for moving, list, whatever you call it, right? And then they would receive an automated email that says, hey, thanks for registering with us. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out. We'd love to be able to have you participate in that, as well as blah, 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 blah. By the way, here's your free download. Please enjoy and call me if you have any questions. David Adam Kurz, 786-555-1212, so forth and so on, right? The other option in the funnels, it's a little bit easier because in the funnels, you can create the form and then once they submit the form, it'll go to the next page where they can download, right? But you don't have to go this far. You could just do it right here, okay? And then the other option is manually, right? They submit a Google form. You receive an email that somebody registered on your Google form, and you email and text them with the copy. That's the other option. So if you don't want to pay for this, Google Forms are free. And you could just manually do it, right? All right, so I'm going to erase this real quick because we're going to go into where else this goes. Because I don't want you guys to get confused with me, but this is a very, very good way of accumulating data, whatever you want to call it, right? So Rosie says, any suggestion on how to get them to download? What platform should we use? Okay, so we just went through that. I'm glad I hit that. I'm glad I hit on that for you, right? Now, a couple things. Once this comes through, this lead should end up in your CRM. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. Can I create everything that we just discussed in my CRM? Yes, I can, because I can create ads that would go to a form that would be filled out, and then that form would then push that person into my CRM. And if I tag them with something specific, I can set up a drip campaign. I can set up a drip campaign to go to anyone who gets this tag, which is anyone who fell into my CRM, which is anyone who filled out the form. I can create that, right? And so by creating that first email that goes out in the drip campaign has a link to download my pamphlet. And where do I keep my pamphlet? In a Google Drive with a link that's available to anyone who clicks on it. That's it. Super simple, right? Super simple. And that drip campaign, when the person falls in here, they get a text and emails. And you can control how often folks get those campaigns. So this email campaign, you can now have these campaigns go out every 2 to 3 days, every day, every 10 days, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm a fan of every day, but again, I'm a crazy person, and I believe that the crazy stuff that you do, right? The crazy stuff that you do is going to bring you more attention, right? Okay. Carlos, you mentioned that you couldn't see it. Do you find it? Okay, I just want to make sure. Can everybody see my screen that I'm writing on? Just write yes if you can see it, or give me a thumbs up if you got your camera on. Appreciate it. All right, thank you, Shar. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So now, this being said, what happens if somebody hits the form, but they don't fill out the information and they don't get to all of this? Well, there's an additional thing you can do. You can create retargeting campaigns. Those retargeting campaigns can hit them on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can create this and you can drive them to your branded website. Now, this works in two ways. One way is they don't go all the way through and they get maybe another retargeting campaign from you that says, hey, you didn't download the pamphlet. I really want you guys to have an opportunity to gain this free information, right? The other part is, if they did fill all this out and they are getting the emails and they are getting the text messages from you and they are getting the drip campaign, why would we not still retarget them? Heck yeah. I want them to see me everywhere. When I talk about this kind of stuff, I say be everywhere. All the time. Be everywhere all the time. I am a believer in daily emails. You should be a believer in daily emails. I am a believer in retargeting and having people see me all the time. You should be a believer in having people see you all the time. I am a believer in posting on different platforms on a daily basis. You should be a believer on posting different platforms on a daily basis. I believe that although there is an opportunity for organic growth through all of these different networks, there is a huge opportunity to add in there the paid growth. That's how we collect the data. We just finished talking about somebody spending $1 billion to collect data. When you have the data, you can now interact with these different companies. Okay, so there are a couple companies that will help you with this kind of stuff that I am a believer in. Obviously, Canva to create your stuff. Like I said, there's ClickFunnels and Go High Level for the funnel stuff. For forms, you can use Google Forms, Constant Contact, and I think, I forgot the name of the MailChimp, might actually have the forms too. I'm not sure, but you can check with them. Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna send you guys an email with links to all this stuff. Is that fair? You guys want that? Is that cool? Yes. Can I send you guys an email with all this stuff? All right, awesome. So don't worry about going crazy writing all this stuff down. I'm going to send you, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to send you an email with all the different links to all the different companies that I'm a fan of. Okay. One of the other companies I'm a fan of is for collecting data is Walled Garden. I'm a big fan of them. I believe their website is Walled Garden HQ or H something.com. I don't know. I'll find it and I'll send you the link. Okay. Another company that I'm a huge fan of is Whitley. So Whitley and Walled Garden are both Facebook advertising companies. However, Walled Garden is specific to your listings and branding. And so you can take one of your listings and create advertisement for that listing, and it automatically creates a landing page and does all that stuff. And all the leads that you receive will go right into your Walled Garden, and you can sync these to a CRM of your choice. Okay. With Whitley, it's a little bit different because you can create Facebook ads for anything you want to do. I mean, for recruiting, for selling real estate, for more deals, for whatever you want to do. And this one also, you can integrate or sync a CRM too. And so I'll send you links to all this stuff. Dude, some of this stuff is so cheap, right? That it's incredible. Now, some of you guys are like, well, Dave, CRM, let's talk about that. Some of your real estate companies offer you a CRM, some of them don't. Okay. The original CRM, the godfather of CRMs is Excel. If you don't want to pay for a CRM, the original godfather of CRMs is Excel. And yes, you can collect data on an Excel spreadsheet. There is also Google Sheets, super free. Okay. And I believe there's even ways to integrate into Google Sheets so that the data automatically gets put on the sheet. How crazy is that, right? Then there is, you've got companies like Chime, which many of you have, Boomtown. These are some of the more expensive ones. You have Follow Up Boss, which is another one. There are all kinds of CRMs out there. There's one, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Hey, what was the name of that CRM that's free? HubSpot. HubSpot. There's a free version and a paid version, super smooth CRM for you to use. Okay. So all of these options are available to you and for you. So no excuses, zero excuses to get this done, right? Zero excuses. By the way, all this stuff is going to take you a little bit of time to do. Yes, it is. And it is going to be quite effective for you to be able to do it. And this is what I can promise you. I can promise you that if you put just one system in place, that creates this, and you put $3 to $5 a day into a Facebook ad, and you put, let's say a couple $100, $250 a month on a Google ad, and you do the same thing with TikTok and YouTube, right? By the way, the Google ads, so we'll do like your Google ads and your YouTube ads, they're together. Facebook and Instagram, they're together. TikTok's the only anomaly, okay? So when I create a Facebook ad, I can actually create it through Instagram as well. And then Google owns YouTube, so that's exactly where I would do my YouTube ads, right? Dave, I don't know how to run an ad. Dude, YouTube it. It's really not that hard, right? There's so many people out there giving away free information on how to do this, or come in March and attend our masterclass where we're going to talk about creating Facebook and Instagram ads, right? By the way, I believe that Whitley will be joining us at that meeting as well. So it's going to be a lot of great opportunity for us. Grant Wise is the owner of Whitley. He's a close and personal friend for many, many years. Grant Wise graced my stages and my conferences long before he even created Whitley. Okay. Back when he was like a social media manager and teacher, so we've got a huge history, and I'm a big believer in his platform. I think he did a really wonderful job making it just freaking easy for those of us. Somebody asked if this is being recorded. It's 100% being recorded. It will be on YouTube later on today. It will be in our coaching platform later on today. And we'll get that out in the email as well. So Mike, let's work together on the email that's going to go out later today. Let's not rush that one out. I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody the information that I'm promising them. Okay.
All right, sir.
All right, guys. I would like to open this up real quick because we're 42 minutes in. So I would like to open it up. I'm not going to kill the screen in case I need to write something, but I'd like to open it up to everybody. And I would like to see some questions. I would like to hear some questions, because today I really wanted to take an opportunity to talk about placement. And we talked about Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But more than placement, we talked about what to do with the data that comes in. If we can create these campaigns and be highly effective in communicating with our database, right, then that database is going to believe and trust in our ability to do the job. Does that make sense to you? Right? So if I'm constantly on my Instagram creating reels about the best and most effective ways to sell real estate, do you over time believe that I might actually know a thing or two about coaching realtors into selling more real estate? Right? Like my one-on-one students, like I'm tracking this more than ever before. My one-on-one coaching students are sometimes tripling the amount of business that they were doing without me, right? And that's a big deal to me, right? And so when this data comes out, and I'm officially ready to announce this data, if you are someone that's been watching me for quite some time and you go, damn, this guy like kind of knows what he's talking about. And then I come out and say, after evaluating my last 10 clients, my last 10 coaching clients, right? This is the data that we have. Our agents are growing their businesses by 200 and whatever percent that number is going to be. And if I can put that out there, people go, oh my God, that's crazy, right? All right. So Shar says, thank you for the recording and sending the email, Dave. Love you, but I hate to leave early. All right, no worries. Alicia, what would you focus on first for an agent just starting out and cannot afford ads on the platform? Man, Alicia, I love that question, because all of this right here. So let me bring this up. Okay. Organic is free. We can agree that I can post on Google. I can, because you can have a Google business, right? Google business listed on Google, and you can actually add pictures and create posts on that Google business, right? And the more engagement you have there and the more people leave you reviews and so forth and so on, the better it's going to rank up and be. I can post on Facebook for free, and I can create Facebook groups and get involved in those groups. I can post on Instagram for free. I can post on TikTok for free, and I can create YouTube videos for free, right? And so a lot of people think I need to buy this equipment. I need to buy this camera. I need to buy this. I need to buy that. The brokest agents have iPhones and AirPods, okay? Somehow they managed to swing $1,500 in iPhones and AirPods. And so if they have that, they can swing $12 tripod from Amazon. And they get the ring light tripod. I've got like 2 of them over there, right? And just stand in front of it and create the content. Don't know what content to create? Go to Google and say, what are the 10 best real estate topics today? And it'll give them to you. And just go back to back, create 10 videos and post them every 48 hours. Right? Now, with being able to post all of this for free and get super organic, you could still do the form using Google Forms for free. Canva, free, or $12 a month, right? So I can create the pamphlet and I can use Google Forms for free. I can attract that person, and I can go to HubSpot and get the free version for a CRM. And when the person comes in, because it's free, I would have to manually send them the information and manually add them to my HubSpot so that I can keep track of them. All of this is free. Text messaging already included in your phone plan. Emails already included in your Google account, right? So thank you for asking that question, because we really went in deep on creating more data, but there's nothing wrong with going extra hard on organic, right? And here's the thing with organic. I can create an ad that will cost me, let's say, $100. And with that $100 ad, I will attract X amount of people, let's say 50 people, to input their data, right? In organic, I have no spend, so I need to create more content. Build the trust so that when I say, give me your info, right? Give me your info, you trust me enough to give it to me. And that's going to be a big key for organic content. Okay? Create a ton of freaking content. If you're a new agent, you don't have a lot to do. If you're a new agent, you ain't got a ton of deals. So if you don't have a lot to do, take 5 hours of one day and create content. Just create for 5 hours. go in front of the phone, create 30 or 40 different short form, create, let's say 20 5-minute videos and 30 60-second videos. And then sit down and download an app onto your computer or phone called CapCut. Also free. They do have a paid version, but you don't need it, right? Download CapCut. This allows you to edit your videos. It allows you to fix color on the video. It allows you to add music. It allows you to add captions. And then you can download to your phone. And once you download it to your phone, you can go super organic on posting everywhere. Right? And so what you can do now is you can take these videos that you created, and some of those you might want to transcribe, other ones you might not want to. Point is, you have them ready to go, and you can go in hard. If I created that much content, I have 2 months of content that I could really be pushing out there. And now you also know I'm a big fan in the mix, right? So don't get crazy with it. Mix your content and be a real person, right? Be a real person. Yeah. You know, so CapCut is awesome. Somebody says we're going to need a hands-on national sales meeting where we all do this in real time. That is exactly what the masterclass is about in March. Jamie says, couldn't we just use Chime as a CRM? We had it free for LPT. So yes, those of you, keep in mind, not everyone that comes here is an LPT agent. So everyone has different companies and different CRMs that they use. The answer is yes. If you are building this to create seller and buyer leads, yes, you can absolutely 1,000,000% send those to Chime, and you can create automated campaigns inside Chime. They're called smart campaigns. And you can have that automation created and set live. All right. Most new agents have to work regular job to pay their bills. Tony, 100% agree with you. When I got into this business, I was working a full-time job. By the way, I don't know if you know South Florida, Tony, but I used to live in Homestead, Florida, and I used to drive from Homestead on a daily basis to my 9 to 5 in Aventura, Florida, which was an hour-and-a-half drive in traffic every single morning and every single afternoon. And what I did was I had made a commitment to myself that there was no way in the world that I would not be an entrepreneur. And I started really going in on my real estate business. And after 2 months, I put in my 2 weeks and I left. So you're 100% right. Most new agents have to work a regular job. Shit. Most experienced agents go find a regular job sometimes, okay? Because they're not catching up with what's happening in the market or what's happening in the world. Unfortunately, this is the work required to do the job. And if you want it, you'll get it. I wanted it, so I got it. I was able to sell enough homes part-time, and part-time meant nasty schedule. I was up at 4 a.m. I drove all the way to Aventura, Florida. At 5 a.m., I was in the LA Fitness. I worked out for an hour. I left there. I went to the office early because I had a key. I worked on my real estate business from 6:30-ish till 9 a.m. when I had to start my selling steel pipes business. I sold steel pipe from 9 to 12, from 12 to 1, I ate lunch and worked on my real estate. From 1 to 5, I sold more steel pipe. And by the way, I was still the #1 guy on the floor. It's just a matter of commitment and skill and learning what you have to do. And the reason I was the #1 guy on the floor wasn't because it comes natural to me. It was because the 2 guys that owned the company taught me how to sell it. And I listened and I did a good job at it, you know? And so I did exactly what they told me to do. Both these guys were millionaires from selling the steel pipe. I was like, whatever you say, I will do. Like if I have to stand on my head upside down and answer the phones like that, and that's what's going to make me get the sale, I'm in. And so 100% right. But I also believe if you want it, you'll get it. Captions. So a lot of people are like, yes, captions are awesome. Captions are necessary, right? If you think about how most people scroll through their social media, they are scrolling through their social media in silent, right? And so if you're scrolling through your social media in silent, you're going to be attracted not by the guy going like this, but by the person with the captions. And if the first thing that I say attracts you, remember last week we talked about that hook, like you got to capture somebody in 3 seconds for them to watch any more of your video. Otherwise, they're going to keep scrolling. So capturing with that hook line, right? Like we talked about earlier with the realtor.com thing, amazing opportunity to capture somebody, get them to hear what you have to say, right? Let's see. It's my 2, shows your personality. Awesome. Alicia says, goddamn, because you live in Homestead, right? Alicia?
Yes, I'm in Homestead. So the fact that you drove an hour and a half one way, I'm like, damn. And
Yeah,
that
so
traffic is
basically,
nothing.
I lived in Waterstone, and when Waterstone was first built, and I drove from Waterstone to Aventura Mall area every single day.
Nope, no thanks.
Yes, exactly my point. And that's why I got tired of it, right? And so, you know, at the end of the day, you do what you have to do. When I got off work, there was a ton of traffic. So I went to the Starbucks at Aventura Mall. I made calls and stuff like that. And then I tried to schedule showings for evenings and weekends. And I worked on my contracts till about, 12 midnight or something like that. And then as I finished working on my contracts, that left me open to the opportunity to go to sleep. Around 12 o'clock, 12:30 in the morning, I would go to sleep. I would wake up at 4 in the morning and do it again. I just understood that the sacrifice was necessary for a short period of time to earn a lifetime of being able to get to this point where I am talking to you guys and loving my life every minute right now, right? And so, I wish that upon everybody, but it is a true understanding. We all got to believe all these tactics are fantastic. Many people are not going to do the tactics because it requires work, right? Tisha says it's called the Captions app, writes scripts and has a teleprompter. Love that. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's where the Marine training comes from. Yes, I agree with you, but I know a lot of Marines that got out the Marine Corps and got really fat and really lazy. Okay, so some folks get institutionalized. I just wanted to do something bigger and greater, and I believe each and every one of you are here because you want to do something bigger and greater, and I wish it upon every single one of you guys. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for us? We got like a couple more minutes and that's it. Anybody else have any questions whatsoever? I'm happy to assist in any way I can. Let's see, we got a new message in. Sorry. Thank you. You're welcome. Very welcome. Alyssa says I'm overwhelmed. Understandably, what I would say is grab this recording, watch it again and again and again, as much as you need to, and then take bite-sized pieces of it, right? Like, don't try to listen to the entire layout of the whole thing. Like, so where it says where I start talking about creating the form in the pamphlet, just stop watching the video there, go create a form in a pamphlet, right? Once you got a form and a pamphlet squared away, then come back and, okay, what's the next step, right? And then watch the next bite-sized version of the video. And then once you hear the next step, go create the next step, and then go create the next step. And then if you don't know how to do something, because I'm going to say something along the lines of, tie the Facebook leads that you get into your CRM. I don't know how to do that. Okay, great. Hey, Mike, can you post a link for the masterclass? Somebody's asking, Dave Knight's asking. If you have, let's say, Chime, you're just going to have to go to Google and say link Facebook ads content or contacts to Chime, and somebody's going to have a video out there that shows you step by step on how to create that and make that happen, right? And then once you've done that, then you go back and you go, okay, now Dave said create a Facebook ad. Shit, I don't know how to do that. Let me go to YouTube, right? And so just bite size it, do it piece by piece. Maybe it takes you a couple weeks, just commit to doing it. And what you're going to find is, coming with, there's so many ads out there right now that are like, buy or sell your house with me. And it leads them right to a website where they can search for property. And that's fine. That develops leads. But when you come with something of value, you're right, download this pamphlet for free that has this information. I'm just giving this to you. I took the time, I created this, I'm just giving it to you, right? That changes everything. It allows you to create build the data. And the idea is if they're downloading a specific pamphlet, like how to prepare my home for sale, chances are they might be interested in selling their house. Right. And so they get the pamphlet. By the way, one of the biggest tricks, steps to buying a house or steps to preparing your house for sale, is to make it encompassing and cumbersome so that they feel like, I don't want to do all this. I'm going to call this realtor that gave me this information. Let her do all this stuff. I don't want to do this. Right. So just have fun with it. If you're not very creative, go to ChatGPT or Google and say, steps to setting up my house for sale, and do that, and copy and paste those and put them inside of a nice pamphlet inside of a Canva, and make it nice size print and make it maybe 3 or 4 steps per page, right? And put your logo on there and put your company logo on there and stuff like that. Okay. All right, guys, I got to jump off because I do have a very strict 12 p.m. meeting, but I appreciate you guys showing up every single week. Next week, we're going to have some great times. We're going to really talk about relationships, the psychology of communication. So see you guys next week.